Hey guys, so today it's raining, so I'll try to find something to do undercover. So we flew our trusses this past week. I don't have any video of that because I had limited time and limited money, and the crane costs a lot of money to sit here, so we just banged it out. I'll show you guys what we did, but today I think we're gonna go ahead and cut our stair stringers. So we need to build a staircase right here. First thing we need to do for our staircase is measure our elevation differences between our main floor and our upper floor. We're going to go from subfloor to subfloor, which in this case is 111 1/4 inches. We end up with 7 7/16 on our riser, and I'll show you how we calculate that. Okay, so the reason we're going subfloor to subfloor is that we're going to be putting 3/4 inch hardwood on the bottom floor and on the top floor, so it's going to be the same measurement. And also we're going to be putting in construction treads that are going to be permanent, and we're going to put the hardwood treads right on top of them. So for right now we're just going to use the 3/4 inch Advantech flooring for our risers and our treads with no overhang, because later we're going to come back and top them with a more aesthetically pleasing material. So because our upper floor and our main floor are both 3/4 inch hardwood, we're just gonna build the staircase subfloor to subfloor. Subfloor to subfloor, 111 1/4 inches, 0.25. And we want our risers to be about 7.5 inches. So 7.5 is 14.83 treads. So it's 15 risers and 15 treads. So you take 111 divided by 15, 7.416, which is close to 7 7/16. 7.4375 times 15, 111.5 inches. So that's within 1/4 inch of what we want to do. And 1/4 inch over 15 treads is 0. So we're going to delete the top tread, because we're going to hang the stairs. Like, there's no reason to build this, that's just your upper floor. So we're going to delete the top tread, so we're down to 14. Now a good run for each is 10.5 inches, because when you put your 11 inch board on there, you end up with a 1/2 inch overhang on your stair nose. So that's how we came up with our rise and run length. So it's going to be a 7 7/16 rise, and it's going to be a 10.5 run. A couple other things to note when you're doing this: 7 7/16 is our rise on every tread, except for our bottom one. So we're going to be putting 3/4 inch flooring on here, a 3/4 inch riser on kicker here, a 3/4 tread. Riser and treads are 3/4, and then later we're going to be putting down 3/4 inch of subfloor here and 3/4 inch of hardwood here for our treads. So this distance from here to here will match from here to here. But if we do this bottom at 7 7/16, then our first step will actually be 7 7/16 plus the thickness of our tread. So we need to cut down this bottom one by the thickness of our final tread, which is 3/4. So our bottom is going to be 6 11/16. Every other one will be 7 7/16. And then when we get to the top, we're going to have our subfloor on our top, and we're going to have our subfloor here. Now this measurement needs to match, but that means we need to hang our stair stringer down the thickness of our tread. So this distance here is 7 7/16 plus 3/4. So it's going to be 8 3/16 from here to here. And then when we put our 3/4 tread on, it's going to be 7 7/16. And down here, this will be 6 11/16. We'll put our 3/4 tread on, and that'll be 7 7/16. So that'll match Every step needs to match in height. So for your stringer stock, you want to try to pick out something that's not split, something with small knots, nothing major. Try to get them as straight as you can. Pick through the pile, it's worth it. This side looks pretty good. We got one nasty knot right here. So what we'll end up doing is cutting that out with our tread. Try to pick your nicest one first, because that's going to be your template. Layout is super simple. Now that we have our measurements, you need a nice good pencil. Pick up a set of these. I don't even know what they're called, but you can find them next to the squares. And here's how you do. So you got 10.5, and you put the edge here on your mark. And we got 7 and 7/16. So that's it. Since we know that we have a knot we need to work around, you lay this around that knot. We're going to start there. And that's how you mark it out. It's super simple. So if I mark around my knot here, so now you line up that edge of that with the line you just made. Get it nice and straight. And do it again. Now take some time on your first one, because you definitely want to make sure that your template's nice. Since this is the bottom, we need to take off the thickness of our tread, which is 3/4 of an inch, so about here. And on the top, we need to take away the thickness of our riser, which is, this is the top step, this is where the hanger is going to be, so the thickness here. Okay, so before I started cutting, I just went outside, double checked my measurement, 111.25, so we're good to go. Did my math one more time, looks like we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and get the worm drive out and cut all these triangles out. You want a nice square saw with a very sharp blade, because you're going to be cutting through a lot of meat. I'm going to cut, you know, about 30 cuts on each one of these boards, and there's 4 of them, so that's 120 cuts. And you want them to be nice and straight. So we're going to put a brand new blade on for like $7, so you might as well put a new one on. Okay, we got a nice sharp blade. Fence is squared up. So we're going to just touch our line, just barely touch it. So for this next step, I've tried everything from a Sawzall to a handsaw to a jigsaw, and the best cuts that I can make on this, I've discovered that using an oscillating multi-tool with a nice sharp new blade on it works the best. You get the flattest cut and it's the fastest work. Okay, got a nice new blade on there. I don't know who the heck invented these things, but they gotta be a millionaire by now. And I don't know why these blades cost like $1,700 a piece. But whenever they're on sale, I buy them. And you just lay that nice and flat against there. Same thing here. You end up with a nice flat square cut. Just like that. Then we go down and do all the rest of them. Okay, so now what we need to do is take this out, put it up on the wall, make sure that all the steps are nice and level and that we're not like one short step or something like that. So it's not perfect, but we're talking maybe a 1/16 of an inch, not even. So I can live with that. Now that we've verified that this is going to work, we're going to go ahead and cut 3 more of these. So we're going to use that as our template. Now what's important here is we marked this side of the stringer and we cut these lines on this side of the stringer. Our saw is as square as I could get it, but there is a little bit of error. So when we mark our next ones, we're gonna make sure we know that this is our template. Okay, we're gonna make sure this is the side that goes down. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay another board up there and we're gonna flip this over on top of it so that we're marking the same edge that we marked before. And that'll get us some nice stringers. It's also important not to overcut these. I see guys run their saw over to here and run this saw over to here. It's just so they cut that piece out. To do that with a multi-tool took me maybe 5 minutes, not even. And if you think of it, this only has like 4.5 inches of integrity left. So even though we're gonna pile up 4 of these for the staircase, we want to make sure that we're maintaining this integrity here. Okay, I got that position where I want it. Now we're going to use some clamps. Make sure our bottom of the stringer is nice and flush. So we have each location for our stringers, along with a line for the top of where the stringer needs to go. right, one thing I forgot to do on this one is cut out for a 2x4 to lay flat on the floor down here. So I'll have to go back and cut that. Hey Hazel, what do you think of the stairs? Okay, so we got the top of the stringer screwed to the header, and then we got our kicker in here, spaced out and nailed down. I had one that I had cut about 1/8 inch too short here, so I had to shim that one up. And then pick a spot somewhere in the middle, put a temporary brace on there to keep them spaced right and keep them, we did all of our layout flush with the bottom here, so that puts all the bottoms in line. And then as you can see here, we're, you know, touch out, nothing unreasonable. Same thing across here. So now's a good time to go down and just double check all your steps and see if there's any unruly, you know, crazy, way out of whack, anything, and, you know, take a rasp to it or put a shim on there, because there's going to be one or two that are not going to be perfect. I mean, at least when I do stuff, that's the way it is. So it is, you know. Ooh, see, like that's a good example there. We could shim that. That whole stringer is a little bit off. What are you doing? Hazel, what are you doing, honey?
I'm climbing.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't do that right now because I don't want you to fall.
Why?
Well, once we get the steps on there, you can go up, okay? Thanks, babe.
I'm gonna take that wall off or not?
Okay. Again, guys, thanks for watching. Check out the channel. Got plenty more to show you with this project. So we'll see you on the next one.